Hello and welcome back to another coaching session from leadershipmentor.com. In our time together this week, I want to talk again about motivation. And I know we talk a lot about this. And just as a review, we really have two different approaches that most of us are going to take with when we motivate our team members. We have the carrot or we have the stick, or in this case, the fork. And so we use these two different processes or means to change the behavior of our team members. So we either provide them with something positive to move towards as in terms of an incentive or a reward, or we also provide something in the terms of like a negative behavior that there may be a pay decrease, a demotion in position, something is out there, maybe even termination, if their behavior doesn't change or the performance doesn't change. So those are kind of the two common extremes of motivation. And so we've talked about the importance of having showing interest in our people. So in our communication plan that we have in our coaching program, we talk about things like one-on-ones, team meetings, being available for your team members when they need you, supporting them, being an advocate for them, and probably most importantly is listening, to be available and not always to solve their problems, but oftentimes just to listen. Today I want to talk about positive reinforcement, and specifically what gets noticed is going to get repeated. So here's the scenario. You on your team, you have two different groups of people. You have the top performers and you have the poor performers. And I know in reality we have people that are much in the middle of that. But let's just say that you have these two groups. So the top performing team, you continue to provide them with incentives. You reward them for their behavior, their performance, monetarily or in other ways. And in the low performing team, you are continually going after them in terms of reminding them of the importance of their attendance and performance and the behavior that you're looking for, and reminding them that if that doesn't change, there's going to be a consequence to that. They're either going to be terminated or something. So we have this window of opportunity between these two groups where the low performing group, you're going to see people that begin to change their behavior. They're going to stick their neck out and they're going to change the way they typically perform, the way they behave. It's not comfortable, but they want to do that. And this typically is a very small window of opportunity for you as a leader to acknowledge that change, even if it's not a really noticeable change. It might be something as small as somebody that normally shows up right on time coming in 15 or 20 minutes early to prepare for the day. As a leader, you have an opportunity to acknowledge that change, that effort, and encourage them to continue to do it. And that's really the essence behind this whole idea of positive reinforcement, and really what gets noticed gets repeated. And I believe that we miss that oftentimes as leaders, where we have this idea that there's these two groups, and until they truly move into this other group, the better performing group, then I'm going to continue to manage them in the same way. And it's so important that as you see that very small incremental increase in effort, that you acknowledge that and you give them that momentum to continue to improve, to continue to change what is not natural or comfortable for them. And so that's really it that I wanted to share with you today. Obviously, we do talk about the fact that not all negative behavior needs attention, and that's very important. And the leave alone zap idea, where we also don't want to just neglect our team members and then just come in when they do something negative, and that's common sense, I think. So that's really it this week. Again, I want to encourage you to really be aware when you see those very small pieces of effort by your team members, to acknowledge them and continue to acknowledge them. And that's how you're going to bring them from low performers up to a higher performer. So I hope you found that helpful, and I hope you have a phenomenal week.